All right, we are live. Go to the challenge chat, say yes or no if you can hear me. Tim Bowen's giving me crap for not starting on time. I said, you live a boring life. He said, you won't get an argument from me. You were right. I am right. Listen, you can live however you want. I'm delayed for multiple reasons. Today is a difficult day because E-Trade, in case you didn't know, is merging with Morgan Stanley, so I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about this. I tried to place an after-hours order yesterday on ICCT because I saw it going supernova, and I couldn't buy. They're having issues. I talked to them for quite a while last night. Look at this. I tried to buy just 100 shares, and it says, your account has been restricted to placing closing orders only. Please call customer service, blah, blah, blah. So I did that. Can you guys trade with E-Trade? Say yes or no. Or I already asked you if you can hear me, say yes or no. Say E-Trade is fine or E-Trade problems. Every time a broker merges, there's issues for some people. I have an IRA account with E-Trade, so I think that might be something. They weren't even sure. I talked to like 4 different people. They said it's going to take basically like 4 to 5 days to figure it out. E-Trade, if you have an E-Trade account, I guess we have what, like eight-figure account numbers, and now they're going to 9 figures. It's fine for everybody else. Okay, well maybe it's my IRA, I don't know. But I can't trade from E-Trade right now, which sucks because I've been using them for 20 plus years. If you don't have problems now, a few people have E-Trade problems. Yeah, I mean, look, you can call them. They probably have extra people. Try to put in an order. Don't like put in an order at the market. But like right now, ICCT is at $17.98. Many of you haven't even tried to put in an order after hours or pre-market, so you haven't gotten the warning. The software works fine for me. The website works fine for me. I just can't place orders. Which sucks. So, ICCT is at $17.76. Try to put in an order for like 100 shares at like $15 a share. So you won't get executed, but just see if you can even put in an order. E-Trade is not working. Super annoying. I was getting the same message. Yeah, I mean, some people are fine, some people aren't. But long story short, if you have an E-Trade account, the next few days are going to be annoying. They're merging with Morgan Stanley. They're changing account numbers. I guess we have like a 9-number account issue coming. So they have to, the guy told me, the one guy who basically gave me an answer, all the other ones were passing me off. They said, you basically have to wait for the new account number and then they can figure it out. But it's going to be crazy the next few days. So I have a second computer here set up. We're filming this. I have Pascal here. Say hi, Pascal.
Hey, everybody.
I have a second computer here, which I just found out is dead. I thought it was fully charged because I also have backup accounts with Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, and Trade Zero if I really do need to see it. Yeah, they're updating it over the long weekend. The market is closed on Monday, which brings about more issues because it's going to be a holiday weekend. So even though some people say it's going to be ready on Tuesday, I had Thinkorswim when they got acquired by TD Ameritrade. Same kind of 5 days of annoyance. What can you do? And it sucks because normally the market is very slow right now. Like this is a good time, but the market is on fire. I've been trading really well. I'm now nearly quadruple off my lows. I just posted this video lesson also. Part of the reason why I was late, I was filming this video lesson. It was supposed to be 20 minutes, but I really wanted to go in depth. Let me tell everyone to watch this. It's a 40-minute video lesson, and I just got it out. So I know no one has watched it all, because you couldn't have, because it just came out 20 minutes ago. Too much going on. Let's see. Safe trading. We'll call it safe trading. Change it. I guess I already used it. Everyone, please watch this pre-market video lesson on safe trading. safety first. Retweet this if you promise to prioritize safety first. Some people will say, you know, stop preaching about like safety. It's boring. We get it. You don't get it. Okay. I don't know the questions. And I said in the pre-market video, I said, if you have issues with E-Trade, call them. Because I know I'm going to get a ton of questions. I am not E-Trade support. I know that you might be confused that I look like E-Trade support. I am not E-Trade support. Everyone has different issues. Oh, I should also mention just a few seats left for the early bird tickets for the conference, October 26th and 27th. It's going to be insane. Insane. You know, we run the biggest event for penny stock traders. Over a dozen millionaires will be trading live. It's going to be insane. You know, we're trying to actually get a bigger space because we're already like running out of space. The normal tickets aren't even out, and it's just pre-early bird tickets. It's crazy. Retweet this if you promise to be safe and disciplined and meticulous. I'm hearing some horror stories from people who are not safe, disciplined, and meticulous. ICCT never deserved to go to 40 last night. This is completely a short squeeze. I know that there are so many newbie short sellers these days. I am to blame because I made millions shorting, because many of my top students made millions shorting. Everybody wants to be a short seller. The problem is that even if you can make money when they eventually crash, many people without experience, many people without big accounts, you can't outlast the squeeze. And whether you're cutting losses or whether the broker is giving you a margin call, in today's pre-market video lesson, I explain how, like, I know so many people who were shorting this 9, 10, 11, 12, and they just averaged up so much in the 14s, 15s, 16s, thinking like, wow, 2 to 15, this has to be the top. And then a few minutes later, it's in the 40s. And they're fortunate that it went to 40 and came back down. This could have gone to 60. It could have gone to 100. Remember, HKD went to over 2,000. You cannot outlast a short squeeze. Even big traders are getting crushed. Lucas, my 8-figure trading friend, lost like 50 grand. That's a small loss for him, but he still lost 50 grand yesterday. Anyways, you can read blog posts. I linked this in the pre-market video lesson, the pitfalls of shorting supernovas. You can ignore me if you want, but I'm going to try my darndest to really get you to try to be safe, to be overly safe. You know, people are watching this. I'm glad you're watching this. And the good news is I want you to understand I'm not just complaining about the short sellers. I want you to understand why them being so many short sellers actually helps us. As I always say, be grateful to promoters. Right now, promoters aren't doing much. Be grateful for the short sellers. You know, if you look at my yearly profits, I know it's not much, but I had the $27,000 loss when I got undisciplined. I've been trading small ever since. I'm just glad to have nearly quadruple now off my lows. Really disciplined, safe trading. Like 2 wins on NAOV yesterday and 1 loss. All 3 times I sold far too soon. And if you watch that, video lesson, that pre-market video lesson, I go into detail. You can trade these scary stocks in a very safe way. Obviously, we're still trading volatile stocks. Obviously, it's scary. If you're just starting, don't be afraid to take 100 shares. Don't be afraid to paper trade. Don't be afraid if you miss it. But at the same time, if you want to dip your toe in, these kinds of trades are good for small accounts, not just for earning, but for learning. You get to see how the emotions affect you. I'm all for paper trading, but if you're not using real money, it's sometimes like tough to learn because, frankly, you don't get the full emotional value. All right, so I was really glad. Like the pre-market video, I know that I can't really be that detailed right now, but the pre-market video will really explain it. I thought that it was really good. It was supposed to be a 20-minute video, but I wanted to explain. ICCT, let me just go over real quick. Went full supernova. I don't know how many shorts are still in. Some people will say, well, now the short squeeze is over. You just don't know. It could come back. There's so many shorts right now. I can't mention it enough. I'm also watching ACER is spiking. I saw a few people nail that early. NCNC is spiking. TO is spiking. ALLR is spiking. VFS is coming back a little bit. Remember, VFS went from, the teens up to 90. And it's come down 50%. Didn't really panic enough. Now I have something in my eye. Wonderful. Didn't really panic enough to make me want to buy. It panicked enough, but it didn't panic sharp enough. I don't want to just dip buy any play that's gradually going lower. Like AXLA, gradually going lower. It's really tough to try to size in or like keep averaging down because you don't know where the bottom is. Like it might just keep averaging. It might just keep dropping. You'd have to keep averaging down. You're hoping that it's going to bounce at some point. That's a really tough strategy. I prefer big morning panics. And I'm trying to get this laptop to work, this second laptop. Questions. Do I like TTOO to continue its bounce? TTOO just frankly isn't volatile enough for me. I know you guys like trading these not as volatile plays because they're less scary. I think that you should trade the scary plays. And you should learn. Like TTOO, I get it if you want to trade the less scary ones. They're just not for me. So I focus on the big percent gainers. TTOO just doesn't have the big percent gain. Let's see. Oh, there's another one. SATX. I'm looking at stocks to trade breaking news, pre-market runners. SATX is another one. I mean, we've got 4 stocks up over 40% pre-market. Busy day. Not a good day for me to have E-Trade issues, but let's see. Questions. All of these dip buys have different minimum goals, 5, 7, 10%. Could you review how you determine possible targets? Yeah, I mean, when a stock is moving so fast, I'm going to go for a bigger percent gain. But at the same time, when there's like a less volatile play like TTOO, I wouldn't ever try to make 10 or 15 or 20% because it moves slower. So I try to judge. Some of these plays I try to make 5, 10% and I make 20%. It's not an exact science. I'm just trying to judge based on the volatility. How do you get after and pre-market data on E-Trade? You got to call E-Trade. Any questions with E-Trade? They're a full-scale, full-service broker. Thoughts on ACER? Yeah, I mean, this is one of these pre-market spikers. Like, I don't know what to do because, again, right now, let me set up my interactive brokers. Good call. Let's see if I can even get on. Interactive brokers, for those of you who don't know, there's like a whole separate. I got to get my phone out. They have like this separate security. I mean, it's good. It's good that there's extra security. It's just annoying. I got 2 minutes before the market opens. Learn from my excessively busy life. Some people like the boring life like Tim Bowen. That's fine. I don't tell you how to live. I just want you to understand that you can do this with a busy life. I think that is good for me to show you that A, you can do this while traveling. B, some of you have you're in school, you have a full-time job. Like, you don't need to be like some of these crazy traders who are slaves to the market, frankly. And, they have multiple monitors. They're up at 4 a.m. for their locates. Like, I want the market to better your life, not become your life. I think it's very dangerous, not just for people who spend their entire lives in front of their computer, but even if they make money, what life do you have? And how do you get out? A lot of big traders that I know who have the multiple monitors and they're up every morning, they want to retire because they're miserable. I'm not miserable. I'll never retire. Market is open. ACER, like I'm watching this, I watched the level 2 and it looks very heavy. Like you see how hard it is to go up even 1 penny a share. So I'm not going to buy this immediately. It's like weeded out. NCNC or ICCT, remember, had that big after hours spike yesterday. The question is, could it go up again? It's got a 50 cent a share spread. So I have to go to Interactive Brokers. Like, this is not ideal. HMBL just announced some financing. I got too many stocks on my watch list. I got to get rid of one. I'll get rid of EZFL, HMBL, and I saw also what had news, ABML, 2 former runners. I mean, these OTCs aren't really doing much. ABML is up 4%, but the volume is just weak. Acer is now spiking a little bit more, but again, it was really tough to go up like penny by penny. It wasn't like NAOV yesterday was just cutting through different prices. So this is like, they're getting bought out. So it's not even an ideal kind of play. The market is open. ICCT basically just failed, and are they halted? Yeah. They got halted. I mean, that squeeze up to 40, that was near best case scenario. AAOI spiking a little bit. ABML is up a little bit, but not much. AMC is spiking. I saw some people asking about this. Yeah, Taylor Swift is going to have a movie there. It's not going to like make or break AMC. It's not like, oh my God, everyone is going to go see Taylor Swift's movie. I'm sure a lot of people will, but it's probably going to be meaningless to their bottom line. SATX is up a little bit. NCNC is spiking a little bit. Look at this. You're just looking for charts with upside. Noco. This is one of the recent IPOs. So theoretically, shorts are going to love this because this should not go up, but it can with enough volume. It's really tough to, try to guess which ones are going to have a short squeeze. NAOV yesterday, I wish I was giving a webinar at the open yesterday. It just had the look that it could really spike. It was low float, big news. NCNC, could squeeze. It has big volume, but it doesn't have the news. ICCT is done. Let's see what VFS is doing. Where is VFS? Wow, VFS couldn't even go green. But maybe if it panics enough, maybe this is the play today. I mean, it's already panicked from 44 down to 38. Good. VFS panic. Let's see how low it can go. So I want the panics to go lower, not because I'm short, but because I want the best panic dip buy. It should have support here in the 37s. I really don't like $38 stocks. Yeah, I mean, 50 cent a share spread, it's so tough. I mean, I could do a paper trade in my head right now, 200 shares at 39, executed in my head, with the goal of selling in the 40 to 41 range. I'll watch it just because I have like this paper trade in my head at 39. But look at that. Now it failed. So I'd actually be cutting losses while I was typing out the alert if I had sent it, which I didn't. It just failed trying to bounce at 39. IFBD is having a nice jump. IFBD is having a nice jump. Yet another one. Let's get rid of WLDS. That's not moving. What's the news on IFBD? When I'm giving a webinar, when I got too many issues going on, I'm not even like prepared. I don't even know what the news is on this one. But good find. This one's spiking faster. This has good price action. Nice little breakout over the pre-market high too in 52. This is like NAOV type action yesterday. But it doesn't have news from what I can judge. It's got one of these terrible long-term charts. So maybe if they suck in enough shorts, but Really tough. I see like a penny and a half share spread. I don't like wide spreads. Let's see what VFS is doing. Yeah, it's just not bouncing. Down to 38. It tried to bounce a little bit. Oh, maybe it bounced from 37. Shoot. I said that there was support here. 37.50. That could have been a good entry. You know, if this was like a $3.80 a share stock and it traded 8.8 million shares instead of 850,000, like it's not the right dynamics for me. It's too high price. There's not enough volume. Look at it. Now it's taking out the, testing the day lows. We're not getting true panic. We're getting panic, small bounce, panic, small bounce. Now it's going to take out the lows, go down to the 36s. There we got the 36s, new lows. I mean, it should have some support going back here and in the 34s. It's down only 11%. I actually like it down more. But now we're getting some like true panic. Ugh. Interactive brokers is so bad. I hate interactive brokers. It moves so fast. I don't feel it, you know? IFBD stopped spiking a little bit too. I mean, VFS is the best panic. I just can't get like a good read on it. Some of you think that like a good read is a given. It's not. You know, sometimes there's just no good play. Like it made a new low down to 36.40 and then it regained the low at 37.20, the previous low. But now it's probably going to lose 37s again, right back to the 36s. Like you get panic, little bounce, panic, little bounce. What are you going to do with that? I need maximum panic. These little fake or like partial panics is just not interesting enough. NCNC fading, ICCT squeezing a little bit, Acer fading. Any other plays? ICCT bounce. Yeah, you're looking for a squeeze. I mean, it's tough because you say it's going to squeeze, but it's up from 2 to 18. It is squeezing though. Nice little squeeze, but it's got to take out like this high in the 19s if it's really going to go. I don't like chasing because if the squeeze fails, it comes right back down. And again, higher price stocks, not ideal for me. Look at that, solid wall of sellers at 1920. Can it take it out? There we go, 1950. And then you have a solid wall of sellers in 1950 and now 1944. Really tough. I'm watching it. Oh, 1950 goes and then 1970. But then sellers come in the 1960s. Like every 10, 20 cents, you just have resistance. VFS down to 35s. Wow, this is getting to good panic. See, you wipe out the early dip buyers and it creates some potential better opportunities. But remember, VFS is up from 13. So you might think that it's like really good here, but it just might not be. Come on, take out 35s. Max panic, max panic. Come on, max panic. Oh, it looks like they're supporting 35. I would love it if they took it out. I don't think they're going to. That might be the bottom here. 35.20. Yeah, 35 is the support. So like I would have been interested if 35 had gotten taken out. You want those key levels taken out because then you have stop losses at 35 and then I can get in 34.80, 34.60, 34.40. That's max panic. ICCT is going into the 20s. I prefer max panic plays than chasing. You see, now I'm watching VFS. If it can take out 35, that would be beautiful. But it's not taking it out. What did ICCT do? You just get halted in the 17s, or is it halted at 20? And this is another thing. I'm so bad with halts. Scary. VFS, that was the bottom at 35 so far. So I'm watching, I'm learning. I didn't get the perfect action that I wanted on VFS. It's already bounced $1 a share. So you could have put in a little bid, especially if I had like my trading platform that I like up and running at 35.01 or 35.02, but I don't want to chase it now after $1. ICCT, did it go to 20? Did it just go to, it went to 20 and then in 1 minute it went to 17? There are some chat rooms that try to create spikes too. And then when the spikes fail, because everyone plays follow the leader. I don't want you following anybody. I want you thinking on your own. Acer is coming up a little bit. Nice little squeeze there. Remember, that was fading. That's more of my price range, but this is also a takeover. So now you're playing like merger arbitrage. What's it actually worth? I don't see anything truly great. You know? And I can imagine, like, if you're just beginning, this is like what it is for you all the time. Like, here's a play, here's a play, here's a play. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't see anything truly great. Acer, I like the action, but I don't like the news. IFBD, I like the action. There is no news. NCNC, I don't like the news or the action. Oh, wait, it's squeezing a little bit. But this one doesn't have the right news, and it's just trying to squeeze just because I think some shorts are trying to overshort it. ICCT, I like the setup, but it's too high priced. VFS, we needed to take out 35. At least VFS, there's a clear target. But I don't think it's going to take out 35. It might not even retest it. But at least this one has a big enough panic. It fits my pattern. I don't love the price range. I don't love the volume, but I like that it, came down so much. But now it's bouncing $1.50 off its lows. So now it's already using all the dip buyers. This is not max panic. That was the low. When there's too many plays and nothing truly great, I sit on the sidelines. Especially when I'm like dealing with a second laptop and I have to trade with Interactive Brokers, which I hate. There's still hope. VFS can still take out 35. Sometimes they lure in some early dip buyers, and then they take out the lows. That would be nice if it could take out 35 now, because then the new dip buyers would panic. But that's a tall order to go down $1 a share from here. But it could happen. But that's what I'm saying when I want max panic. Oh, 35.66, 35.60. Keep going. Oh, take out 35. You know you want to. It's like taking the legs out of the dip buyers. And that creates potential max panic. That's just tough. You see now there's dip buyers at 36 protecting it. Picture like 35 is the queen, right? If this were chess and your whole goal is to get to the queen. Acer is coming up. Acer has the best price action, but the takeover news, like that's the worst news for me. Acer, best price action of all right now. Worst news catalyst. I don't like that. I like it where there's, good news and good price action. Acer has the best price action by far of any of these, but is by far the worst news. I don't like merger arbitrage plays. I mean, this is it. Acer is the play. halted. Is it halted at 128? Or no, it's trading at 128. It's squeezing. Nope, it is halted. You get the volatility halts when it's up too much. I mean, it just took out the day high. I don't understand why. Is it just a short squeeze? Didn't they come up with a specific price? Yeah, they're coming out with a specific price. Zevra Therapeutics is buying them for 64 cents a share. I guess people just like the deal. NCNC trying to spike but failing. IFBD completely failing. SATX failing. VFS bouncing a little bit. I mean, you make $1 a share on what, a $36 stock. I mean, you're making 3%, 4% best case. That sucks. Even had a little bit of a double bottom there at like 35.60-ish. HMBL had news, not enough volume. ABML had news. Yeah, I mean, ABML is going up a little bit. At least it's like spiking. Nice to see some former runners spiking. Sometimes slower movers can be good. Stocks to trade breaking news just says today is the last trading day of the month. Heading into September, historically the worst month of the year for the stock market. Yeah, I mean, September has the most crashes. ABML, nice spike, just not enough volume. I wish ABML with this news and Acer's price action. That's what I want. VFS now bouncing. That was the low at 35, now 37. VFS now bouncing. Oh, shoot, I'm in all caps. Why didn't someone tell me? EFSH, someone says. Yeah, I mean, EFSH is up a little bit. It's got a suitably terrible chart. I'll look at it. I like these terrible charts. But this is how I look at these plays. Like I don't need to trade. I know it's a live trading webinar. I know you want to see live trades, but I don't see anything truly great. And I'm already on edge just because of my whole E-Trade situation. You know, again, I mean, I didn't even expect it. Like, I mean, I knew that September 1st was the merger, but I just didn't. I should have expected it. I should have expected problems. Thinkorswim, when they got taken over by TD Ameritrade, and I was a big Thinkorswim user, and they had massive problems for a whole week. And the same kind of thing, like if you had a position during the transfer, like you couldn't necessarily sell those shares because it didn't recognize tickers. And so like, what was it? There was one stock that squeezed a lot during that merger. Was it COSM? I don't know. Sometimes these stocks squeeze because you're trying to sell a position and the stupid broker thinks that it's a new position, so they think you're shorting. It's a mess. I mean, VFSWW just keeps going. This is incredible for the warrants to just, keep squeezing all the while VFS is barely bouncing. Oh, I missed Cureleaf, CURLF. Too many plays. Nothing truly great. Let's see how Acer acts when it reopens. ICCT. Oh, so this is why you can't chase anything. Nasty, nasty, nasty. ICCT, nasty. This is why you can't chase potential short squeezes. What did I see it at? I think it was 18 or 19, right? It was like right in here, and we were watching it. What was it at? It was at like 19. Yeah, there were sellers at 1920, 1950, and I was like, it's going up, but it's really, there's sellers every 20 cents a share. And then it goes up to the 20s, gets halted, or it goes up to the 20s, halts down in the 17s, and then it reopens now, halts down in the 15s. So you're trying to make 50 cents, $1 a share, and now all of a sudden you're down $4 or $5 a share. This is the problem with these trashy companies. There's so many ways to lose money. By the way, Acer is back open. The halt kind of crushed the momentum. It was at 128. Now coming back down. Tim Bowen just had a good thing in the challenge chat. Remember this trade thesis: trash stock, low float, confusing news, but cheap locates for shorts. This opens, reclaim, high of the day trade plan. If it dies, never a dip buy. Signal 121, stop 106, goal 159. You know, it's just a short squeeze. I like that plan from Tim Bowen. And it's going up. I wouldn't put a signal at in the 150s, but I don't want to chase it either. Because again, I said I don't agree with the news. NAOV had some really good news yesterday. You know, AXLA had some good news. I do better even if I'm not necessarily right. Like sometimes you don't need news in this market, but I feel better buying a stock with news. Good news, not confusing news, not bad news. VFS, yeah, I mean VFS you could have made like $1.50 a share, but the spread is like 50 cents a share, so it's so tough. It can still take out the low of 35. This is what you have to understand. It's not just about the play right at the open. I mean, it's been 20 minutes and I'm like looking at plays, this play, that play, this play, that play. I don't see anything truly great. Acer keeps going. Tim Bowen was dead on. Props to Tim Bowen on Acer. He nailed it. And Acer is the best. Larry, 1982, all out of Acer with a $990 win. Biggest profit to date, contrary to yesterday. I'm walking away. Good. I still have yet to trade today. Am I even logged into Interactive Brokers? Interactive Brokers, the platform is so bad. I can't get over it. I can't believe they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Look at that. I didn't think Acer had the ability to go to the 140s. Tim Bowen did. Massive props to this hardworking, upcoming challenge student. Give him a solid congratulations. And I tell you guys to support, each other because it's fun. Like when you have that light bulb moment or that light bulb trade, you're all going to have it, God willing. But Larry didn't just take his biggest profit in $1,000 a day. He also learned to walk away. I think it's really important to learn to take the profits and then walk away sometimes. You do not have to sit in front of your computer all the day, all the time. You don't need to turn this into like financial slavery where you're trying to make money, you're trying to compete with somebody else. $1,000, $2,000 a day keeps the real job away. I really think there's untapped potential there if you just learn to take the singles and walk away. Take 2 singles, take 3 singles, but just don't get too addictive. Larry, what's his username? Larry 1982. Solid Acer trade. Larry, what was your entry and exit? I'm curious. Look at this. I mean, this is a beautiful squeeze. I didn't want to chase it because I didn't agree with the news. And this is what I have to do. And it's difficult because normally I like buying good news stocks, new contracts, new products. And in this market, you have to sometimes buy the worst of the worst. Like this never should have gone up this much. Short sellers are like, oh, this is so overvalued. And that's what creates the squeeze. The number one trend right now is that there's just too many shorts. Like VFS, WW, this is the warrants for VFS. VFS is dipping. Why is VFS, WW keep going? Because of short sellers and they're getting squeezed. They're like, this has to go down. Nothing has to go down. But this is what I want you to realize, okay? This is the beauty of this. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need perfect news. You just got to try to take the meat of the move and you got to try to adapt to the current market. Are we still streaming? We'll see. When you see video of where I'm at, you'll be pretty surprised that I'm able to give a webinar. Pascal flew 30 hours to get here. I'm surprised we're still streaming. But let's see how high Acer goes. And this is why I'm so excited, for, the Vegas conference. Tim Bowen will be there. A dozen different millionaire traders will be there and we'll be trading live. So even if I miss one, if Bowen misses one, whoever, you get multiple viewpoints. Bowen absolutely nailed Acer. He couldn't take a picture on the bull when we were in New York. Maybe he wanted to kill a bull instead of take a picture on it. But it's made of metal, so he didn't want to go near it. Let's see. ANTDB 8, Acer in at 104, out at 130. B. Williams in at 107, first half out at 122, the second half out at 129. Beautiful. And B. Williams also, NCNC made 10% there. Beautiful. And this is what I want you guys to understand. It doesn't matter if you're trading with 100 shares. You can always scale up to 500 shares, 1,000 shares, 10,000 shares later on. Look at this. Can you get to the 150s? I think that's going to be near best case scenario. So even though I'm not in it, I'm still watching it. You can still learn. I need to do, wow, look at this. Goes down to the 130s, right back to 149. There's the 150s. What was Bowen's initial one? Bowen called this so well. Unbelievable. Bowen said signal at 121, stop loss at 106, goal is 159. Can he get to 159? Got to 156. That's pretty damn good. This is the beauty. Some people say, oh, why do you have so many different traders? I just want to trade one way. No. Learn from multiple mentors. Learn different strategies. Bowen just nailed this one. He couldn't have called it any better. Look at this. There's 160. Wow. So I wouldn't have expected that, but I still have to get in tune with how many shorts there are. There's so many shorts. It's overwhelming to me. Maybe I'm biased because I'm the one who created it. So I want to mentally not take. Look at that. Goes up to 163. I wouldn't chase it here. Remember to lock in profits along the way on Acer. Don't get greedy. Don't feel bad if you exited too soon. Well, perfect streaming. This should still work. Did anybody else trade? Look at that. That's a beautiful dip off the highs. VFS keeps bouncing to 37. So we got a morning panic on VFS, but no true panic below 35 like I want. We had a nice morning spike on Acer, but I was too much of a coward to buy the news, the squeeze. But I did warn, and look at this, ICCT. Good luck trying to get out. You try to make 50 cents or $1, and then you're down $7 a share in a few minutes. That's the risk. Rideco, Acer, 110 to 130. Take $100. Beautiful. IFBD, big panic. And this is the problem. IFBD never deserved to go up that much. So what goes up that much can come down. Someone just sold a ton of shares on IFBD. Look at that. Up to 60 cents, now down to 27. I'm going to watch this one because it just went red. Whew. So you might want to dip buy it, but also a penny a share spread. And I haven't been watching it, frankly. I've been focusing on Acer. But this is a nice dip. Meanwhile, the overall market continues higher. This is what happens in bull markets. We didn't really have this in 2022. Wow, IFBD, nice little bounce there from 27 to 30. So it was overbought on meaningless news, then it got oversold because everyone just got crushed. I wish I had seen it a few minutes earlier and I would be watching it. Can you go check on the, can you grab my coffee? I think it's in my room up on top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And I think that it's there.
I'll find it.
Yeah, it's like half a cup of coffee. I could use it. Whew! So no trades for me. IFBD, I just missed that rather nice dip buy. VFS, I missed the dip buy. Acer, I missed the morning spike. But nothing truly perfect for me, and I'm trading on Interactive Brokers, which is not ideal for me. Am I even logged in still? And I want you guys to realize that it's okay to miss a play. It's not the end of the world. If VFS had taken out that $35 a share, I can't say 100%, but like 80 to 90% I would have bought it in the 34s. But I want that max panic. I don't like it when a key level holds. Because what if I did dip buy it? Let's play devil's advocate. What if I did dip buy it at 35.05, 35.50, even 35.70? And then a few minutes later, 35 gets taken out and I become part of the panic. I want, ideally, the max panic before I buy it. A DeWitt in at 93, out at 103. I need way more patience. But it's okay. You made 10%. This is what I love about these penny stocks. There's so much more upside than people realize. Like NAOV, I nailed yesterday. In each of my 3 trades, I sold too soon. But I played it safe, played it safe, played it safe. You can play it safe, and thanks to this volatility, you can still profit. Sideways, snapback, NAOV yesterday, Acer today, locked in 30%. Absolutely beautiful. AMC panic. Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing, like AMC had the good news with Taylor Swift, but who cares? You know, they're a giant company. Taylor Swift isn't going to move the needle much either way. And more importantly, even if you're like a Swiftie, understand that it's not good news, meaningful news that moves stocks. Acer is a short squeeze. ICCT is a short squeeze. The biggest runners are crap news. NAOV, for me, I liked it because it was a short squeeze with decent news. AXLA, I liked it because it was a short squeeze with decent news. I have to learn to buy bad news spikers. And I said it from the beginning. Watch this webinar again. ACER, best price action at 105, 110. I was looking at it at the open right here. and it didn't look very good. I was like, oh, every penny a share is bad. And so this bad news and bad price action at the open lured in short sellers from 105 to 95. I can only imagine how many toxic short selling chat rooms, Discord and Reddit, Telegram, WhatsApp, and they're saying this stock is up, it's getting acquired for 65 cents a share, it's up too much, this is a gimme. And what does it do? It turns it into a 30% squeeze. LGVN is also spiking. Lower volume play. I'll add it to the list. Let me get rid of, what should I get rid of? Oh, there's so many plays. TIVC was squeezing. Let me get rid of TIVC. It can never hold its gains. LGVN. VFS is coming down. By the way, it's not over. It could still break 35. Yay! It's coffee time. It's Timmy coffee time. Look at this. So maybe this is the play. And like if you ever miss a spike, if you ever miss a panic, this is the beauty of the bull market. Traders are laughing at me. Like, I don't know if you know, like when I went on the food tour with Jack and Lucas, whoa, look at it, eating through the bids. Come on, 35. There was actually like 5 or 6 8-figure traders, and they were laughing at me that I was like, come on, bull market. And they're like, I haven't heard a trader like talk about the Dow in like decades. And for me, I want this bull market because it creates more volatility. So I missed Acer, but VFS, I mean, it did bounce $2 a share. You had like, what is this, 30 minutes of bounce. But now right back to the lows. You want to close the door? You see how it just sped up when it looked like it was going to take out the lows? That's some longs, some momentum longs. You know, oftentimes you'll see the price action speed up at key points. Those were the momentum longs being like, I don't want to risk it taking out 35. The bounces failed in their mind. When Acer was squeezing, you saw it speed up because some shorts were covering. They're like, I don't want to risk this going to $2 a share. So that was, you know, again, I wish I had done a live webinar yesterday with NAOV. Blame Pascal. He wasn't here. He should have been. You were supposed to be here.
I was.
You were supposed to be here.
Blame the airline, but I'll take the blame.
You changed it. But Acer is a short squeeze. VFS is a morning panic dip buy. Sykes, are you going to stick with E-Trade after the takeover? Or are you going to use a different broker? I don't know. I have to see how it plays out. You know, I was really in with Thinkorswim, and the founder, Tom Sosnoff, and I were good friends. And, you know, he promised that nothing would change. They promised nothing would change. Everything changed. Once a big company takes over, the founder and the original company, they're not in control. When I was talking to like 5 different E-Trade reps last night, they're like, we're sorry, we can't help you. I was like, I've been a client for 20 plus years. I give you 6 figures in commissions. What's going on? And they're like, sorry, we're locked out too. So I'm always willing to adapt. It sucks because E-Trade has been great, but E-Trade has been better in the past too. Like early on when I was using them, they had E-Trade Center in New York where they had like little appetizers. You could go in and like trade in their office. It was beautiful. They got rid of that real quick. So you can't get married to any one broker. And I'm probably, frankly, a little too reliant on E-Trade. Like, I wish I could be using Stocks to Trade right now. I have a second computer using Stocks to Trade breaking news. It's not ideal. So, you know, if you ever get too comfortable, if you ever get too cocky, the market will teach you. I probably got a little too comfortable with E-Trade. Acer started watching. Trade plan, wait for morning dip. Entry at 96. Got out at 111, so you made 14%. Tiny gain. But the point is to make a plan and stick with it. Beautiful. Congrats, Mom on Wall Street. And throw out any questions, because I've already missed the best play of the day, which was Acer. I just missed the dip buy on IFBD. Is that bouncing more or is it tanking more? Whoa, IFBD is tanking more. And this is the scary thing. You see this thing down from 60 down to 30 and you're like, it has to bounce. It bounced for 5 minutes. On any bounce play, you can't get too comfortable either. I don't like IFBD. I don't like that it spiked on no news. I don't like how it came down and it can't really bounce. I mean, this could end up at 15 cents on the end of the day. You have no idea how bad it could be with these stocks. Whenever they spike up so much, someone has a plan. Someone is pumping it. Someone is creating false rumors. Who knows what the different chat rooms are saying. I want nothing to do with it. Wow, Acer is squeezing again. I can only imagine short sellers. If you look at some shorts, if you look at them, they're so old looking and they have gray hair. And if you ran health tests, they ain't doing so well. A lot of short sellers are trying to work out because they're trying to protect against their terrible strategy. Yes, how you like that, Acer shorts? I tried warning you, but you're so toxic, narrow-minded, and stubborn. At least you enjoy pain, so thank you for your mental issues and for helping spike stocks so much further than they deserve. Please never read. So I wrote this blog post warning people. Let's see. This blog post on why not to short sell supernovas. So some people say, why do you like rubbing it in? Because I want them to be more emotional. Just like I used to, if you've been a student of mine or if you look back at my old stuff, I used to rip on promoters. And they're like, why are you poking the bear? But the more emotional promoters are, the more they want to spike the stocks. The more emotional short sellers are, the more they inadvertently spike stocks. Same kind of thinking. But promoters hate me and short sellers hate me. But I do it because I'm trying to teach you. I don't care if they hate me. I care more about creating millionaires from scratch. And some people take this stuff way too seriously. You got to have fun with it. Life is too short, guys. I'm surprised that it's up so much. That might have been a double top at 160, but we'll see. I just don't know how many shorts are in this. Please retweet this and help me piss off more shorts so they keep creating great squeezes for us. ICCT is bouncing a little in the 15s. I mean, look at Acer. It just keeps going. I can only imagine some short sellers. Their blood pressure is going up. They're having heart attacks. They're finding more gray hairs. There are literally short sellers who are the same age as me and they have gray hair or even white hair. If you want to have terrible health, a terrible existence, be endlessly frustrated, feel noble and valiant when you're proven right, then become a short seller. It's a terrible way to live. This is all a short squeeze. That's what you have to understand. Those of you who sold too soon, like, it's okay. What is NAOV spiking again? No, NAOV is failing. And so this is the thing, like the short sellers aren't wrong. These stocks do deserve to go down. The short sellers just crowd each other out. I'm glad that you got to witness this. I'm glad many of you profited, even if you sold too early, 110, 120, 130. It's really tough to buy a stock you know should not be up this much. I still haven't mastered it. I've mastered the art of ripping on short sellers. I've mastered the art of like dip buying panics, but I'm not hugely comfortable buying these stocks. Like NAOV, I sold way too soon. AXLA, I sold way too soon. Acer, I didn't even trade. In hindsight, you got to buy this breakout right here above 120. I know that many of you bought it like 95, 96, like you turned, like when the momentum turned, you like that. I like high of the day breaks. This is a problem for me because you had the high of the day break and then the halt, same minute. And then you had a spike. I guess you could have bought it here in the 120s, but now it's already up 30%, so I don't like chasing it that much. And then, 130s to like 140s or 150s. I didn't think, you heard me earlier, I didn't think it could get to the 150s. I was like, calm down, Bowen. Then it goes to 170. Charlie Stock says, I'm so discouraged and need your help, community and Tim. I know that Acer was the runner and sold 5 minutes panic at the open. I've been holding all pre-market and got out right before I needed this win so badly, barely contained myself with how upset you are. Don't be upset if you're on the right track. You guys have to understand, what you make or lose in your first year, maybe even in your first 2 years, it's negligible in the long run. Now that I have 30 millionaire students, I don't just bring them up to brag. You now have a guide to how to make millions 30 times over. Okay? Charlie, I encourage you to go back and look through all the archives of when Jack Kellogg started, of when Tim Grittani started. They didn't make money in year one. Jack Kellogg recently gave a webinar to you guys. I encourage you to watch it again. He lost $2,600 year one. Think about that. Okay? When you lose $2,600 year one, and he paid several thousand for the challenge. So he's down nearly 10 grand after year one. And this is one of my best students ever. So stop blaming yourself when you miss it, when you lose. Oh, I'm so discouraged. Be encouraged that you were in the right stock. You were there. It's the single best stock in the entire market. There's thousands of stocks in the market. You were focused on the best play in the entire market, so you sold too soon. There are greater tragedies in the world. Prove you ain't got nothing to prove to nobody but yourself. And if you ain't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen. But seriously, who cares if you sold too soon? You witnessed it. Did you not look at my NAOV? I've been doing this 20 years. I sold too soon, not once, not twice, but 3 times yesterday. It's tough to trade these short squeeze stocks. And like I said, I was looking at it at the open. I looked at it right at the open. I think this was the first stock we looked at today. And I saw it at 102, 103, and I was like, nope, bad price action at the open. And then I kind of took my eye off it. And it uptrended, and I don't think I flipped back to it until it got halted, or right when it was halting. And so then it got difficult for me. But I discounted it from the beginning. I said, I think you can go back in the beginning of this webinar. I think I said right price action, wrong news. And in this market, the right price action is all that matters. The wrong news is actually the right news right now. We're in backwards world. What was that show on Netflix? Stranger Things, right? What do they call it? The underworld?
Upside down.
Upside down world? I don't know. They're dumb kids. That's what this is. I should have recognized that. Bad news is good news if it can squeeze the shorts. What's it called? The upside down world?
Looking up right now. It is called upside down.
Upside down world?
Yep.
So this is upside down world. So you say, you put in all caps, I knew that Acer was the runner. Congrats. You're on the right track. Even if you had nailed it, what are you going to make? A few hundred, a few $1,000s is not going to make or break you. The fact that you were on the right track. Now, next time, you're like, I was on the right track. I missed it last time. Let me buy it this time. You said, I need burpees, I guess. I can't believe I sold right before it moved. I really needed this win. You don't need any win. That's in your head. You need to let stocks go. You need to accept that you're going to be frustrated sometimes. I was watching this play from the beginning. This is a live trading webinar. We were there. All I had to do was click buy and I would have been a hero. What did I do? I said, nope. Do you hear me getting angry with myself? The only difference between me and you is mindset and perspective. Because I have the perspective of my 20 plus years of trading and now the perspective of 30 plus millionaire students. You won't have the perspective of 20 plus years trading, but you can go back in time and you can look at the millionaire students. Like, this is the beauty. You guys don't even realize it. Jack trades. I encourage you to use the weekend. Go through every single one of these students' trades. Look at Jack. Look at him losing. He's okay with it. Look in the beginning. He's at 12.6 million. Okay? But let's go to his initial starting. You can go back. Look at this. $150 profit. $600 profit. This is July 2018. He's celebrating his 5-year anniversary in the challenge. Think about that. Okay? 132 loss, $94 loss, $28 profit. I can't encourage you enough. And then you can also go back. Like, this is the crazy thing. I don't think you guys even realize how much power you have at your fingertips in the challenge. Let me just show you this. Why do I get stuffy every time I do a webinar? I'm allergic to these things. So the Tim Challenge, you have the chat archive. This is today. You put the date. But look at this. This is Jack Kellogg in July of 2018. That's actually not even his beginning. I mean, you could search by dollar gain too. His biggest gains, his biggest losses. Let me just show you his perspective with his biggest losses. And this is what you should be doing. Look at this. August 3rd, 2022. He lost $400,000 in a day. August 23rd, 2022. This is challenge chat that day. It started out like any other day. This is when HKD was going viral, or supernova. He wasn't even in chat. This is part of the problem. He was shorting. He didn't want to be in chat. And this is arguably one of the best penny stock traders. He didn't want to be in chat because he knew that I was going to be yelling at him. Think about that. Think about that. His biggest loss was partially because he wasn't in chat. Let's see, February 21st, 2021. February 21st. So some of you are like, oh, Tim, why are you so mean? I'm mean because I care. I'm not fake nice like many of these BS artists here. I care about your future. Jackaroo, let's see if he was in. Nope, another biggest loss. He wasn't in chat. Do you notice something? We've already learned something. His two biggest losses, he's not in chat. Because again, he knows what I'm going to say. MMNFF, him and Kyle both were dip buying it. I actually dip bought it too. Let me just show you this. This is interesting. There's all kinds of fun things that you can find out when you look through the archives. You're not the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. You're the sum of what you freaking study. Stop being so influenced by other people. I hang out with sushi chefs all the time. I love sushi. I'm not influenced by them. Let's see, 2021. I hear all this general bullshit and I have to just correct it. It never ends. When did I trade it? Why am I not doing... Let me just do, oh, I'm doing year to date. I'm wondering why like it's not showing up. So Jack Kellogg, right here on February 21st, 2021, he bought a lot of MMNFF. Kyle did too. February, which one was it? February 12th. Or he uploaded on February 12th, but it was February 11th. This was mine. I dip bought it. The goal was to make 10 to 20% on the bounce. I said, nice little bounce, not going to get greedy. Possible double bottom as always, so locking in the single into sheer panic. I bought at 75 and I sold at 81. What did Jack do? He bought at 75, he sold at 60. He didn't initially start buying at 75 too. He was averaging down and then he cut losses at 60. I went in once and I got out once. Same exact pattern, same exact trade. Difference, I profited. Jack had one of his biggest losses ever. What was the difference? Too much size, he started too soon. Me, I traded like a sniper. It's very rare that there's a trade where I do better than Jack, understand that. But that's the beauty of archives. I know what happened because I was there. Many of you aren't studying the archives. Okay? So, Charlie, you don't need burpees. You need to study more. When I assign burpees, I do it half jokingly. Half of us can't even do burpees. I can barely do a burpee. Everyone except Ellis can't do that many. Ellis is a former NFL player. Let him do burpees all day long. He's good at it. If you don't want to do burpees, if you're a nerd, if you're out of shape, guess what? Study more. This is revenge of the nerds. Dematia says MNFF was super hard to get a fill out, especially with so many. Do you know how easy this was for me? Why? Because I took a very puny size and I went in trading like a coward. Jack went in with massive size. He didn't trade like a coward. The good news is Jack still had a record week that week. He still made 7 figures that week. So he was trading with size. He was trading aggressively because all the other plays worked. So don't feel bad for him. He literally had a 7-figure week that week, even with his biggest losses. But there's something to be said about trading small and cowardly. A lot of the time, I sell too soon. In this case, it worked like a charm. It just depends on what you want. WTF is a burpee. BURPP. This is why Google's amazing. Here's what a burpee looks like. It's a push-up and a jumping jack combined. It makes you burp. It makes some people burp. Look at this. PYR8 Ray, thanks for the Webby. Off to the job. One day trading will be my only job. ICCT in at 1623, out at 1904, made 281, small position, still learning. Did ICT bounce? ICCT? Nice little bounce. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong chart. So he was trading this, the initial morning panic. Please congratulate this hardworking upcoming challenge student. I really want you to understand that like having these little meticulous little trades are fantastic for your learning. Please retweet, congratulate on this solid ICC trade. And it's only because he was specifically being willing to sell and to trade like a coward. This is a great trade. And now he's off to work and making $280 and then going to a job that probably pays less on the day. But that's the kind of trade where you, with a small position, eventually you can make $2,000 or even $20,000 on the same trade later on, not too soon. Solid winner and good cowardly way of trading. There's a whole way to trade extra safely and cowardly. And that involves missing some plays, that involves selling some plays too soon, but lowering your stress and learning to be okay with it. Charlie says, thanks, just sucks. I will overcome. Thanks for the support. Of course you'll overcome, Charlie. You're learning. You guys are all learning. You expect perfection while you're learning. It's wrong. Stop expecting perfection. Start expecting nothing. Start expecting losses like 90% of this whole industry. Once you learn to expect nothing, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Your expectations are way too high. You've been trading a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and you expect that you're going to nail the most volatile plays in the market? You're wrong. Dillison says, up 5,000, paper trading, I'm good and done, had 4 green days in a row. Good. You think you'll play with actual money soon. Just take it easy, okay? You guys have to understand that it's okay to just go slow. And when you trade with real money, don't be afraid to trade with 100 shares. That's fine. Practice, practice, practice. Acer was a beautiful squeezer. SATX is now squeezing finally. What's the news on SATX? Deals with MDA, space technology. They're selling their stock. I mean, it's a merger type stock, so it's similar news as Acer. So I'm sure some people are saying this is the next Acer. Now that Acer's done, let's focus on SATX. Oh. I don't want to chase. Charlie, do you promise to study more this weekend? Do you promise not to be so hard on yourself? Huddy also just lost 17K on it. It happens. You guys are new and you're expecting profits and you're expecting perfection. And I need to change that. If you are going to become my next millionaire student, you should learn from the process and the journeys of my other millionaires. You know, you can type in any day. Those were 2 examples when Jack isn't in the chat room. Not coincidentally, it's when he had his biggest losses. Come on, Jack. Jack was in the chat room quite a bit. I'm just picking random days. Maybe not the smartest. Let's do 2020. 2020 was crazy. That was like when we couldn't get enough trades. Here's Jackaroo. Waking up at 7:30. Sun. He puts a little sun icon. You see, look at this. 8:30, he's dip buying MCIG on a nice gap up on a fresh PR. He sold it. Fat ask. Basically, he's saying that there's a lot of sellers. And he's long TLRY on a nice daily. He's in and out every few minutes. And I encourage you to go back and literally look at all of his previous stuff. And you can do this on any one of my millionaire students. Look at this. At 12 o'clock, he bought 2,000 F-Cell at 293. He sold it. 20 minutes later, 292. So lame. You have to understand, he didn't make that much. Some people are surprised. Let me just show you what Jack made up until 2020. He's now made 12.6 million. But let's do, when did he start? 2018? Let's just do 2017 to 2020. Up until 2020, up until COVID, he had made $200,000. This is how crazy this is. His biggest loss at the time was $2,500. Still good to make $200,000. But up until COVID, his biggest win was $13,000, $10,000. And then he simply sized up. So all of you looking up to people like Jack or Tim Gertani or any of my millionaire students, you can go back and look at all their trades and see what they did. And then maybe you'll get better perspective. Charlie, do you promise me that you will study this weekend? It doesn't matter how much you make or lose in the beginning. What matters is you get used to it. Get used to selling too soon. Get used to missing trades. Get used to nailing a few plays. It's all part of your education. The more reps that you take, the better your education. Guess what? If you are going to become a millionaire, one of the things on the checklist is miss a perfect play. Check. Maybe you need to learn that lesson 5 times. Check, 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 check. And then maybe you take what you think is a perfect play, and then it turns out to not be a perfect play. One of the lessons that you have to learn is to be faked out. Check. Maybe you sell too soon. I saw a lot of people selling Acer at 110. Check. All of these reps help you get wiser and help you optimize your process over time. You don't want to hear it. Look at this. Charlie's ignoring me. Charlie doesn't want to hear it. Look at this. This other guy, Siemens Geld, is responding, and he's saying, I promise to study more. Charlie won't even respond. You don't like what I have to tell you, but you need it. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. I'm like the annoying mom being like, eat your vegetables. Take your medicine. You don't want to hear it. You want money. I get it. You want to prove to me. You want to prove to yourself. You want to prove to your friends and family. All of that proving is meaningless in the beginning. What you need to do is experience this. Charlie, remember this pain. Remember this frustration. Accept it. Overcome it. It's part of your journey. It's going to help mold you. It's going to help teach you what not to do. This MMNFF trade, the reason why I made 2K and Jack lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, do you know how many dip buys I traded cowardly? But Jack has made nearly double what I made. He doesn't care if he lost big on one trade because he's made more in the long run. He lost the battle, but he's won the war. Look at this. He only made $200,000 before 2020. 2021, what a difference. Now he's up over, do it, 5.3 million. What a year between 2020 and 2021. What about to 2022? 8.7 million. 2023, 12 million. So outsiders think that this is fraud. They think this is impossible. They think this is luck. They think he's not showing all of his trades. But because he's following my process to a T, because he's not the first, I think out of 30 plus millionaires, I think he was millionaire number what, like 15, maybe 17? He's following what Tim Grittani used to do. Let's just show you what Tim Grittani did. And I guarantee you that many of you have not done these searches. What is he? Croy Runner. Is he just Croy Runner? Yeah. So 2017 to 2023, he's at 8.7 million. Let's go back. I don't even know when his first year was. I think it was like what, 2011, 2012? Let's see Croy Runner's first. I don't know why I'm at 8. Let me do full years. 8, 31, 13. Let's see Tim Grittani's first 2 years. 694,000. Am I off? Did he start in 2010? No, basically the same. Let's see, 2012. Two years. When did he first start? I don't know why I didn't just go to the beginning. September 1st, 2000. Did he start? Wait, when did he start? He started November 2011. Okay, let's do this. Shoot, did I just type in the wrong thing? Yeah. 11 / 01, 2011. So, I typed it in wrong, 201, 2011. So this is Tim Grittani, year 1. This is, I think, when he first started uploading trades. But even before this, he didn't make any money. That was the point I was trying to show. I'm screwing it up because I'm not planning this ahead of time. 117,000 to 932,000. His second year was huge. To 2014 to 2 million. To 2015 to 2.6 million. To 2016, 3.4 million. To 2017, 4.8. To 2018, 7.3. 2018 was an incredible year for him because he had 7 years of experience. Let's go to 2019. 8.6 million. Let's go to 2020. 12.7 million. Okay? And understand, ever since COVID, like he's been pretty much a full-time dad, full-time family man. Basically has, retired for all intents and purposes. The way that he did it was not by making big money in year 1. Let me just show you. This is his first few months. First 3 months, he made 8,000. I'm doing it wrong. Look at this. $8 profit, $368 losses, $114 profit, $15 profit, $250 profit, $5 profit. He's not doing well. $15 loss, $11 loss. Let me show you his first few trades. I think that's always fun. Why do I can't, this custom stuff. I found bugs. Anyways, you got the point. Let me go back to trading. SATX had that little squeeze, and what did it do? Complete failure. So don't think that every play is going to be the next Acer. I can guarantee you, I'm not even in these chat rooms, I can guarantee you that chat rooms were saying SATX merger acquisition news, it's the next Acer. It squeezed up a little bit and then failed. Acer did the exact opposite. So you can't expect all these plays to just go truly supernova. ABML, remember, had that good news at the open? Not much volume, not much upside. AALLR keeps going down. LGVN was brought up, a little choppy. NCNC tried to spike and failed. VFSWW, this keeps squeezing, even as VFS is down. VFSWW, I can only imagine the short sellers. Wah. Shoot, I got to get everyone to congratulate. My bad. I went to too many things. Did I tell everybody to congratulate PYR 8 Ray? Yeah, I did. Good. Charlie says, I promise to study all weekend. Good. Tim, you said study more, look at the archives. I don't want to sound oblivious, but how would one study in your eyes? I mean, you guys, as challenge students, you have a whole curriculum. You have a syllabus. Follow that syllabus. If you don't have a syllabus yet, email admin@timothysykes.com. My team can give you the syllabus. Cruise Control says, I'm several pages deep into your trading history, great legacy, and up to date. And this is the thing, like, I'm okay with missing trades. I'm okay with selling too soon. Do you know how furious I was yesterday? Do you realize I was like you, Charlie, okay? I was there at the open with NAOV. I nailed it. I absolutely nailed it that it would be the biggest winner. And what did I do? I took a loss because I was a few seconds too early. And I lost I lost control. And I didn't want it to crack below 2 because I was scared. And within seconds of me selling, let me just bring this up so you understand. I talk about this in the pre-market video lesson. I sold right here. Here. At 2-ish. An hour later is at 4-ish. Do you know what an idiot I felt like? But what did I do? I got back on the horse. I made 800-ish. Here. And I still sold it too early. In the 290s. A few minutes after I sold, it went up again. What did I do again? I waited for another dip buy. And I sold this one too early. A few minutes later, it hit 4. All 3 trades, I traded too safely. But overall profit of over 1,000, I showed my process, and I avoided being part of the long kiss goodnight. It's okay to be overly safe. In fact, it's better to be overly safe than over aggressive. I would prefer you to be overly safe because that's a good foundation to build off of. You can always get more aggressive with bigger size, bigger targets later on. It's really difficult, especially if you have success being aggressive, to rein it back in and be like, whoa, I got to take smaller size. Whoa, I'm not going to make such big money. A lot of people who made a lot of money in 2020 and 2021 got obliterated in 2022 and 2023. Because they could not rein it back in. They learned all of the wrong lessons in 2020 and 2021. And frankly, I was trying to teach people to be conservative and disciplined, and they were like, shut up, Tim. Do you know how many times I got called obsolete or a boomer? Because my conservative ways would have made you less money in a crazy mania like 2020 and 2021. But 2020 and 2021 were my 2 best years of trading ever. And I still traded conservatively. Let me just show you. And again, you can go back and look through all my trades. This is the beauty of being real. And understand, nothing is exact, okay? I'm sending out the alerts. I'm trying to estimate what I got in. Sometimes I have bigger positions, smaller positions. Sometimes E-Trade executed me afterwards. Sometimes like I'm typing in what I think I'm out at. E-Trade gives me, I don't care. The point is that I'm trying to teach you a process. Whether I made 1.2, 1.1, even 800,000, okay? There was so much damn opportunity in 2020. And this is me trading conservatively. I think if anyone did a study and looked through all my trades, I would guess 70 to 80% of my trades, maybe even 85%, I'd say 70 to 80% of my trades I sold too soon. Let's do 2021. I made another $1 million. And I would say 70 to 80% of my trades I sold too soon. You know, Jack was making $5-6 million a year, and I'm making $1 million. I remember there was one point it's important to bring up. There was one point where I was trading with Jack Kellogg, Kyle Williams. Who else was in the room? Jack, Kyle, I think Matt Monaco, and maybe Bryce. And I was trading a little more aggressively. I try not to get influenced by others, but when your students are trading big next to you, and I was like, I know more than all of you combined. I have so much more experience, not in a know-it-all sense of way, but just in a way where wow, these newbies are trading big. Let me trade a little bigger. And there was one day when I was trading next to these big traders and I made $50,000. There were so many plays. I didn't make it on any one trade. I made 5,000, 4,000, 6,000, whatever. And I remember Jack Kellogg looked at me in a condescending way being like, good job. And I was like, you little pissant, I was doing this when you were in diapers, literally. But that's the beauty of this. Once you learn, you can really earn. ICCT, by the way, is squeezing again. I don't want to chase it. I'm not really that tempted. I'll watch it, but I'm not really good at 11 a.m. bounces. Acer was the play and I missed it. VFS didn't really panic under 35 the way I wanted. Those were really the only two trades for me so far today. EFSH, spiking a little bit now. What did that IFBD do go down to? IFBD, yeah. It went down and it doesn't bounce. This is very similar to MMNFFF. You got to be careful with these plays that dip so much and they can't bounce. Anyways, any final questions? We got a few minutes more. I want to answer your questions. I gave you guys homework last week. I remember this. Ask me 2 questions. Let's see who did their homework. I'll go extra if you guys have questions. Usually I have to beg for questions. It's pathetic. Stay in line says 24K in the month. Literally only dip buying. First green day reversals. Making tons of mistakes. Should have been a 30K month without some avoidable mistakes. Locking in profits. Closing laptop for the month. Awesome. Don't worry if you make 24K instead of 30K. Please retweet, congratulate this great hard-working, upcoming please retweet, congratulate this great, hardworking, upcoming challenge student. And I want you guys to be supportive of each other. Like Kyle Williams, Jack Kellogg, Mariana, Matt Monaco, Bryce, Huddy, Dom, they all came up together. And it was kind of beautiful. They all supported each other, throughout their journey. And before that, it was Roland, Mark Crook. Before that, it was Tim Grattani, Michael Good. We've had several rounds of millionaires. It's crazy to me that people still don't believe in the process, but some people are just helpless. And this is a great month. If you can make $24,000, I'm happy with my $12,000 a month. Please retweet, congratulate, stay in line in challenge chat on this awesome month. Deepesh says, feel it in my bones. Thank you, Tim. Sarnad says, all I control is how much I'm willing to risk and how much knowledge I build. Good. I like these comments. You guys are getting it. Let's see some questions. Do you have a certain percentage of a panic you look for breaking multiple support levels? No, I mean, so like VFS is a good example where we were watching it, I wanted it to break 35. Because again, if I bought it at, let's say 35.10, 35.50, 35.70, okay, best case scenario, it goes to like 37. I make like $1 a share. It's like 3% as it turned out. And what if it had taken out 35 and then I'm selling at like 34, 34.40 and I lose $1 a share? So there's like $2 a share of upside as it turned out, and in my mind, $1 a share of downside. Not great. If it had taken out 35, this is the thing, like there was already multiple fake outs. You had one fake out here, I wasn't tempted. Another fake out here, I wasn't tempted. I even said it, you can go back and watch this thing. I said, this might be the bottom. 35 had a solid brick wall of buyers, but I wanted it to get taken out. I like it when a key level gets taken out after multiple fake outs, because then I think that it's at max panic or near max panic. It's tough for me to trade a higher price stock with a 50-cent spread on a second computer with Interactive Brokers. It just wasn't ideal for me. Acer, as I said, had the best price action and the worst news, and I should have taken it. Let's see, question. NVOS gave back all of its morning gains, down 24%. Would this fit your morning panic? What would 12% from the lowest point? I mean, you guys have to stop thinking in terms of exact points. Like, I don't know whether I want it down 5% or 10% or 20%. I'm looking for that max panic. NVOS has already like dropped so many times. Like, in a perfect morning panic, you get like the big spike and then you get the quick panic off the highs. Like now it's just choppy. It's like a bouncing ball. I don't know what to do on the third or the fourth or the fifth bounce. ICCT, dill pickle just was in the 15s, out in the 19s. Tiny size as I've been taking big losses from being undisciplined. Good. Small size is fine. Like Jack Kellogg and I talk often, and he's making, and again, don't misunderstand because he's trading with a bigger account, but he's making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day trading with small size for him. He went very quick. Okay? It's okay to size down. Lento reference effect on Edgar as far as the document filings, 4B4, something that lists confirmation. Can you refer me to an updated video on filings? I don't even read the filings anymore. I just expect all of these companies to be scams. When stocks regain compliance, AKA thoughts. There was a time when like compliance stocks were hot. Companies that had non-compliance listings were hot because then they would hire promoters or consultants. I haven't really seen that much of a catalyst like that. As a newbie concentrating in volume and volatility, but interested in learning what candles can teach us, when I use 1-5 one day, what info do you get from them? I love looking at 1 minute candles because I want to see every trade. I'm like a micromanager. I know some people, they prefer 2 or 5 or even 15-minute candles so they don't get shaken out. Himini says, when I notice I'm having ordered execution issues, I tend to panic out whether the trade is working or not. Any advice to improve, or do you think it's safer to cut when that happens? I notice when I'm having order execution issues. I mean, if I have broker issues, I get out immediately because I can't control my entry or exits, whether it's my Wi-Fi, whether it's the broker. You see today, part of the reason why I didn't trade, I also didn't like the news of Acer, but I also wasn't comfortable. I haven't traded on my other laptop on Interactive Brokers in months. Like I was frankly unprepared. And I didn't know that this was gonna happen today. I only found out after hours yesterday with E-Trade. And perhaps I should have, again, not been on the phone with E-Trade for as long as I was. Perhaps I should have focused on learning and optimizing Interactive Brokers, but I just didn't. And I was so pissed. If I had been giving a webinar last night, you would have just, I know some of you don't like me swearing. It was nonstop swearing at E-Trade reps. Like treating a customer like me for 2 decades. One of the most consistent customers. Now, not the best because I don't trade that much. I don't trade with a huge account. But I've been a pretty loyal customer for E-Trade for 2 decades. And for them to just have issues after hours, I get it. It's not their fault. It's Morgan Stanley, but still, I was just pissed. My first question got answered. I don't know the framework. Why one-day spikers aren't a number 5 into a number 6? I prefer multi-day spikers, but this is the thing. Right now, one-day spikers are in. It's upside down world. My life starts says, thanks, Tim, for backing up well to build my process. The 3-day long weekend, I committed to spending 24 hours of learning. Well, get sleep too. Don't burn out. But yeah, the market is closed on Monday. So spend time with friends, family, go work out, but also take some time off and, study. Also notice when you went through the millionaire students chats and such, I noticed you can see their brokers they use as well. Yeah, I mean, there's different brokers out there. I'm probably going to have to go through more brokers now. I just have accounts with Interactive Brokers, Trade Zero, and Fidelity just, from a while ago. I don't know if I'm going to have to close my E-Trade account. We'll see how their merger with Morgan Stanley plays out. It's annoying, but it's inevitable. How do you find news outside? How do you find news outside of stocks to trade breaking news? Don't. How do you brush your teeth without a toothbrush? How do I drink water without a bottle or a glass? How do I walk without feet? Why are you saying this? How do you find news outside of stocks to trade breaking news? It's so insane to me that some of you refuse to use stocks to trade breaking news when I say that it's the single best resource that you have. If you look at a lot of my millionaire students, a lot of them are doing better because they have better tools. My trading obviously was helped by the pandemic, by the mania, but hugely by stocks to trade breaking news. Not even to trade every stocks to trade breaking news alert, but to learn immediately which news matters. So how do you find news outside of stocks to trade breaking news? Don't. How do you use the laptop lifestyle without the laptop? How do you trade without a broker? How do you breathe without lungs? That's basically what you're asking me. How do you feel about buying ACER later in the day? I also have a crazy day today too. I have Pascal here. We have so many videos to film. He traveled 30 hours to get here. I want to maximize it. Really, these short squeeze plays are best near the market open. We saw this with NAOV. We saw this with AXLA. You see the volume has already started to fade. The price action has started to fade. Shorts aren't wrong in the sense that these stocks will likely drop. They are wrong on their risk management and their overall perspective and toxic way of life. Is it worth watching CGC to dip buy? Yeah, I saw CGC was spiking. This is just very gradual for me. This is a bigger company, so it's not going to move as fast. It's a second green day. Is Tilray spiking too? I saw all the weed stocks are up. Yeah, it's the whole weed sector. It's just not volatile enough for me. The best pattern right now is near the market open with these morning spikers. ACER was the play. If you wanted to be a little riskier, ICCT was the play. If you wanted to dip buy, VFS was the play. There were 3 pretty good trades today. ACR was the best by far. ACR went up. What was the high? 175? Wow. That's a double. That's a double off the lows. And short sellers will say, Tim, why the hate with the shorts? It is going to dip. It wouldn't surprise me if by tomorrow or next week this is under $1 a share again. But again, it's not that the shorts are wrong in their whole thinking over several days. They're wrong on their risk management and how high it can go. And I'm thankful. I can bring it up every day and show them how stressed they are and how risky they are. They don't care. They don't change their mindset. Let's see. Kalani Joe said, would never have thought that the most important thing I would learn in the first month of this challenge is trade scared. The last few years I thought that I was proving something by holding. Now I gladly accept the title of paper hands because exactly. Paper hands is a put down by these holders, these fucking morons. Sorry for swearing. These hold and hopers where paper hands is a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. We're trading the most volatile assets in the world. If the holders taught us anything, again, Correct. They did well in 2020, 2021. A broken clock is right twice a day, but it's not a strategy in the long run. I know many hodlers who now regret hodling. I can't tell you how many people, I was looking at trading NFTs because of the volatility, but I know many people who went down with the ship. And they're holding these NFTs that are now worthless in a very illiquid market. Be a paper trader, get in or out quickly, be a sniper. You don't need to hold anything. Be okay with going against the crowd. If you're in one of these toxic Discord chat rooms, be okay with going against them. You have to understand how many fakes there are in this industry. People who have never made millions, let alone even 1 million, are teaching and they think they know everything with their little 5 and 6 figure gains in the past few years. But also, people in chat rooms aren't necessarily all real. If you guys do come to Vegas, you'll see real people. We don't have fake students. We don't have fake people. We don't have fake usernames in the chat room. That's the difference. To be real in an industry full of fakes. Many of these chat rooms appear to be bigger. They're really just hiring fakes and fake usernames. A lot of these promoters have 5, 10, 20 usernames. They have Bangladeshi click farms where they have all this social media and you're like, if you're so real, why is your social media so bad? Because I say the same damn things. I'm teaching newbies. I'm not saying anything different than I used to. If you go through my 200,000 tweets, I'm teaching the same damn lessons. And I'm not hiring Bangladeshi click farms. I don't care whether you like it or not. I don't care whether you follow my rules or not. I'm going to keep teaching. You can like them, you can hate them, you can use them, you can ignore them. I can't control that. All I can control is the goodness and usefulness of the lessons I teach you. And I know how useful it is. I know how my lessons can turn you into a millionaire. But I can't control your studying habits. I can't control your trading. I don't want to. You have to do this yourself. Who's coming to Vegas? Say yes or no. I'm curious how many of you are coming. And Kalani, I'm excited for you, saying that the best lesson is trade scared. I wish more people could think like that. But if you don't trade scared, guess what? You'll lose, and sometimes you'll lose badly, and you'll feel really terrible. And then you'll be forced to trade scared. So you can either listen to me, or you can learn a very expensive lesson and then listen to me. Your choice. Either way, you got to learn eventually. Himini says, I've been primarily longing lately, mostly because I've been able to take more size and less stress. I still can't short, but I've been able to size up with longs. Good. Welcome. Welcome to the light. I know the dark side is very tempting. I know many of my top students are really dedicated short sellers. They don't like the way I talk about shorts, but many of my top students are also gamblers and hodlers. And that's fine if you've made millions of dollars. It's not fine if you have a small account. Himini's coming. Mr. Wonderful's coming. Matt Lopez is coming. Shade Tree is coming. DJ Shaw is coming. Hertz is coming. FN Maniac is coming. Kim's Got This is coming. El Coke is coming. Pasha Love is coming. Mom of Wall Street is coming. Brandon's coming. Mitnick is coming. And it's okay if you can't go. I get it. We have busy lives. But you can also tune in via live stream too. Let me just post a link. Last few early bird tickets. Grab them while they're hot. And see how real our community is versus all the fakes out there. I take immense pride by being real. Do you know about the Bangladeshi click farms? How crazy is this? Unbelievable. You know, when I first got started teaching, I knew there were a lot of fakes out there. I didn't realize how crazy it was. Family vacation scheduled the next day. That's fine, Siren. You know, family first. I appreciate that. I get it if you can't come. I'm not going to be like, you're disowned as a student if you can't come. Don't you look at me. Like, look, life gets in the way sometimes. Family, jobs, school, pets, whatever. Just try to learn because it's pretty cool. I don't know anybody else who has over a dozen millionaire traders with different strategies. And it's not this follow the leader BS that a lot of these chat rooms have, where you could have a dozen people and they're all following one person. That's pretty useless, not to mention dangerous. Retweet this if you're coming to Vegas. Let's see who wants it the most. And Vegas could be a fun place. I'm not going to lie. CGC is spiking and now coming down a little bit. I'm going to watch CGC. I know we got to go. But I'm going to watch it because it's coming down. I like this first green candle. It's also 11 a.m., so it's not ideal. Wow, I want it to come down even more. Look at that. You have like dip buyers. Came down to 62, and then in like 3 seconds, it's right back to 66.6. I want max panic. Let's see what TLRY is doing. This one's still spiking. CGC is a little different. Come down to the 61s. Thank you. The lower, the better. So if you're looking at where to dip buy, first of all, it's 11 a.m., so it's not ideal. But really, this big volume started right here at 60 cents. So if you are looking at like a dip buy on this, you know, a nice little dip from 64. I know it has this little fake thing to 66. I never touched it. 64 was really the high. But if you're looking to dip buy on a spiking stock, okay, 64 to 62, you might make like a penny or a half a penny. But for me, I want the dips to come down to where the volume starts and the big spike starts. Like right here is when it started to go a little supernova at 60. So if it does come down to 60, I might try to dip buy it for a bounce of 60 to 62. But frankly, it's just not volatile enough. It's not the right time of the day. It's not the right company size for me. But that's just how I'm thinking. CK Lee says, I really wanted to come, but my ESTA got rejected and my visa for US takes too long. Another time. It's okay. Kayla's coming on live stream. Cool. Well, I'm excited. Wow, look at this. Team Jan says, my wife and I will be missing our son's final football game so we can attend Vegas. Sacrifices. Good priority. And your son will understand, okay? You know, this education is so life-changing, not just for you, but for your family too. What I'm most proud of is like people are like, oh, Tim Grittani, we want him to trade anymore. Who cares? Why do you need Tim Grittani? There's 70 plus archive webinars from Tim Grittani. Have you watched them all? Doubtful. He has 2 beautiful kids. He's got a beautiful wife. I used to travel with him all the time. Now he can't travel that much. But I understand he's a family guy. Jack Kellogg is beautiful. He actually met his girlfriend Mari at my conference, and he just recently gifted his mom and dad each $50,000. And they're hardworking people in Connecticut. $50,000 each in cash. Pretty cool. And he made a YouTube video about it. Baz is coming to Vegas too. Anyways, I look forward to seeing you. I got a film with Pascal. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think we learned some valuable lessons today. You know, I really don't. Oh my God, I took my eye off it. It came down to 60 and bounced. Are you kidding me? Did it really just come down to 60? Or is this a typo too? I don't know if it actually came down to 60. That would have been cool. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I still might dip by it if it does come down to 60 a little bit more. But it's just not enough upside right here at 61. I'll see you guys in chat. Cheers.